Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to explain how you can measure goals within Matomo analytics which are not behaviors. Okay, so the topic of the day is this one, is that when you create a goal within Matomo, all those possibilities which are offered to you are based on the behavior. So it implies that the goal is an interaction in all cases. But there's nothing who is saying that the goal could be acquisition or the goal could be based on visitor characteristic. So let's say a typical use case is mostly when your goal is more in terms of visibility, not in terms of, let's say, pure conversion, such as sales. But you expect that your goal was that from this specific advertising, you get, I don't know, like thousands of visits coming from a specific referral in particular, or that you expect actually as a goal for it to be converted every time that someone is coming from a specific language or from a specific city or whatever, and you consider that this is your goal. In order to do so, what you need is first to define a goal. So in my case, I call it special goals, otherwise it has nothing really special. And I set it as a manual goal. Okay, that's the thing. So in my case, it got the ID number 4. So that's what I define over here, tracking goal number 4. And then, in fact, the magic is going to happen on the trigger. Because for the trigger, what you can say is that it triggers only if, let's say, something is happening. So let's say a page view plus a variable. And over here within the variable, so in my case, for example, my browser is set in English. So I could just say, for example, if the browser language, let's see what are the different values that it can get. So EN US. I'm not sure what mine is about, so I'm just gonna reload this page, just look over here, and what is it saying here? Seems like I don't have it over here, so let me just double check. So here the visit log, special goal, and here I'm currently identified as coming from desktop device brand. Funnily it's not listing the language here, so maybe we can pick up over here. So language, where would it be? Location, and well, I've expected to say English, and okay, well, I'm gonna bet that is just EN. So I'm gonna go back over here. I'm gonna say that the language is EN, and I don't know, maybe I can just add something else, such as the weekday. So today we are on a Friday. So let's Friday. Okay, equal Friday. So in this specific case, what I'm asking is that those conditions need to be met. So it means that my visitor has to come from a browser which is set in English and coming on a day which is Friday. So at this step, normally it's all good. So I can just double check here. So this is correct. And I can publish the new version. So normally what will happen now is that if I go back on my page, say over here, and that I refresh it. Okay, let's see. So not firing here, probably because it's not exactly EN, which is called, probably something else. I'm just gonna look at the request over here. So that's, and what do I have? So the language is in fact fonts, preview payload, fonts. Language. Well, I'm gonna change it to en, contain en, just for the example. And here I'm getting, in fact, the goal is converted. So the two conditions seems to have been met finally. Oops. So I'm gonna get it over here. And I get my special goal over here, as you can see. So we can as well do it on refer based. So I can give another example here. So let's say refer based. So here probably the easiest example will be based on the variable. So URL parameter campaign name, campaign MTM. So we say that this is MTM campaigns, which are Matomo's. So I create my new variable, and I can go back on the trigger, and I can change this out, pick up the URL campaign MTM, and say if it equals, I don't know, let's say like Google Ads, for example. Update, you can publish it, and here what's gonna happen is that so no goals are gonna be triggered. Sorry, there's some cache. Okay, so no goal is triggered, but if I'm now adding over here an MTM campaign parameter equal Google Ads, then I'm gonna get the goal, which is gonna be fired because the condition is met. And that's what I wanted to show you. So the possibility, in fact, to trigger goals based on the characteristic or the visitors, or based instead on the acquisition part. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.